Good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. I do have some good news for you if you're heading out the door. That problem we had on the eastbound 401 east of Port Union in the collectors, all lanes have reopened following a full closure because of vehicle fire cleanup. So that cleanup is completed, and we did hear that there are only minor injuries as a result of that. You can see that traffic is now flowing through this area actually quite well. It looks like nothing even happened here. We're taking a look at this right now. It's difficult to see, but we have a problem on the eastbound 401. You can see the flashing lights there. It's approaching Weston in the Express. It's just on the shoulder. It's a collision. We have some tow trucks on the scene there. We're looking at delays, though, on the eastbound 401 from about Renforth in the Express. So traffic is moving very slowly, heading out of Mississauga and in towards North York on the eastbound 401 as you approach that issue. Southbound 404 DVP combo, that's a little bit busy from approaching Major Mackenzie down to about 16th Avenue. It opens up and then slows down again from the 401 to about south of Lawrence, but then it opens right up, heading down towards the Gardner. So not a bad drive overall. We did have that problem on the eastbound 401, but again, it's all cleared and everything's good to go through there. That's a look at your roads, and now we'll send things over to Frankie for a look at the forecast. Hey.
Yeah, thanks, Steph. I'm taking a look at some temperatures if you're traveling this morning. Let's just say that you're going to New York City. 13 degrees. It's 5 degrees today in Montreal, 16 in Boston, 6 through Chicago and Ottawa, 7 degrees in Detroit. Nice mild conditions. We are also piping into that milder air. Temperatures right now at the freezing mark up at Pearson, but a daytime high today, 9 degrees. That's not record-breaking. The record for this day is just over 11. Partly cloudy through the afternoon. Tonight we're going to go down to the freezing mark. Tomorrow 8, but wind direction changes in the afternoon. Northeasterlies 20 to 40. It'll make it feel cooler. It'll be a cloudier day through Tuesday. And Wednesday, I want you to prepare for a little bit of some messy mix. It could be a little tricky on the roads on Wednesday, as we could get into a rain-snow mix with temperatures of 4 falling down to -4 through the overnight on Wednesday. That's a look at your next 3 days weather-wise. Let's go to your news right now with Mel.
Thank you, Frank. Despite being told to leave under threat of charges and arrest, protesters, they are still at the blockade on the rails of the Tyendinaga Mohawk territory near Belleville. Police and CN apparently told the protesters that they could face charges if they did not take down the blockade, which has halted freight and passenger rail service for the last couple of weeks. The barricades are in support of protesters blocking a pipeline worksite on the Wet'suwet'en lands in northern BC. There have been numerous demonstrations in Toronto, including one just on the weekend, to support the BC dissent. Meanwhile, the owners of a major Alberta oil sands project, they have pulled their offer off the table. Teck Resources is halting plans for a $20 billion project expected to create 7,000 construction jobs, 2,500 operational positions, and more than $12 billion in taxes. The company blaming the move on what they say is Ottawa's unclear climate change plan. The federal Liberals were supposed to approve or deny this project this week. We're going to hear more from Mike Eppel in just a couple minutes. Well, provincial health officials confirm a presumptive case of COVID-19 has surfaced here in Toronto. The patient, who recently returned from China, showed up Friday at North York General Hospital with an intermittent cough. She was then discharged and is in self-isolation. Ontario's first 3 cases of COVID-19 have all been resolved. Provincial officials will be holding a briefing this morning, 9 o'clock at Queen's Park. We hope to learn more. The news comes as Air Canada confirming a passenger traveling from Montreal to Vancouver on Valentine's Day also tested positive for COVID-19. So that brings the total to 6 cases in BC. In world news now, U.S. President Donald Trump in India today, aiming to strengthen relations that have been hurt by a trade disagreement. Trump and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressing a crowd of 110,000 people today at a cricket stadium. Trump is vowing to boost trade ties between the two countries and says the U.S. is preparing to supply India with defense equipment ranging from drones to helicopters and missile systems. The two countries are also expected to expand their space operation. This is Trump's first official visit to India as president.
Of introspection.
Supporters of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange marching the streets of Sydney ahead of a hearing to see if the 48-year-old will be sent to the U.S. to stand trial. Assange, who is from Australia, wanted in the U.S. for allegedly trying to hack government computers and violating an espionage law. He has been in jail since last April after spending years holed up in Ecuador's London embassy. Assange faces decades behind bars if found guilty. WikiLeaks made headlines 10 years ago when it published classified U.S. military attacks in Iraq, where more than a dozen died.